Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my September favorites video. It's been a hot second since I've made one of these over here. I think the last one I did was back in May. And I keep meaning to make this like an ongoing series on my channel. I love talking about things that I have been enjoying in a given month. I also feel like it's a great opportunity to like bring up things that I talked about in vlogs that y'all might have forgotten and or have been looking for the names of. I can't tell you how many DMs I've gotten about this like one particular thing this past month, which I'll include in this here video. Yeah, just like a fun opportunity to just gab and talk about things that I enjoy. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, and that's what hopefully I will be doing every month going forward, but this will be a fun one. I have some stuff that I feel like I have been meaning to talk to y'all about, and not too many things, so it shouldn't be too overwhelming and long to sit through. My cats just got into my office with me, so they may or may not be a little bit crazy in the background. My apologies in advance, but let's do the fitness category because I feel like this is the one that I have the most to talk about with you, and it's mostly like apparel because if there's one thing I love, it is fitness clothing because that's what I'm in like 90% of the time. Now that I am doing 75 hard, I am walking every single morning, and I am either lifting or doing Pilates in the afternoons. So I have a few different things that I have been loving for a couple of months now at this point and just like haven't gotten to talk to you about. So first up, the shoes that I wear to lift. I have wanted for many years just a good pair of flat shoes to lift in. Most athletic shoes, most like sneakers, tennis shoes, whatever you want to call them right now are very chunky, sort of the trend. Don't get me wrong, I love a good chunky sneaker, but when you're lifting, especially if you are doing like squats or deadlifts or any sort of like leg work, you want a shoe that is really flat because it allows you to really push through your heels and get a lot of good stability going. You don't want to be like wobbling or twisting your ankles when you are lifting. So I got the Nike Metcon 6s. These are a very popular shoe. I wasn't sure like how I would like them, if they would be ideal for my purposes, but I love these shoes. I wear them every time I go to the gym, whether it's an upper or lower body day, because not only are they great for lifting, they're also actually really great for the Stairmaster. I love how much room I have in the kind of toe box area. My feet get a really good grip for when I am lifting, but also again, they're really comfortable for like climbing stairs. I have the all white version, but they come in a bunch of different colors. They're kind of pricey. I want to say they're around like the 130-ish, maybe 120-ish mark. So over $100, which is like kind of a lot for shoes. But for shoes that I wear every single day pretty much, or like 4 out of the 7 days a week, I feel like they're kind of worth it. So I wanted to mention that in case you were like on the lookout for a good lifting shoe, or you just like don't really know what kind of shoes to wear to the gym. You're just like, I don't know. I feel like my sneakers aren't cutting it. I would say that these are worth the investment. To kind of go along with my Nike Metcons, I have been wearing crew socks. I'm actually wearing some right now. I wore these to Pilates today, but crew socks, whether they're grippy for Pilates or whether they are non-grippy to just wear with tennis shoes, I have really been liking. I like the crew sock trend, not only because I think they look really cute, kind of pulled up over leggings or just on their own. They're really, really nice if you go on trail walks. I didn't realize how gross walking a dirt trail would be until I got home after wearing ankle socks and realized I had like a rim of dirt around my ankle, which is just not really that cute, and it's not great. I mean, I shower anyway afterwards, but it's just gross, and I really like the way that crew socks protect me from the dirt. So I'll leave a link in the description to my 2 favorite kind. I bought like a 6 or 8 pack of Hue brand crew socks from Amazon, like just the regular grippy kind of socks. Those are awesome, which is kind of all that I wear with my sneakers right now. And then the grip socks that I wear to Pilates, I'm also addicted to. I have some solid white pairs, and then I also have a 3 pack of these like stripy ones, which I also really enjoy. So if you are in the market for some Pilates socks, I'll also link those as well. They have held up really well in the wash, which is also why I'm like recommending them now after having used them for a while. All of them are holding up like exceedingly well. The Hue ones maybe a little less, but I think I need to bleach them because I've got dirt all over them from my adventures outside. Okay, next up is an outfit that I feel so good in. I was working on this internally today as I was coming back from Pilates, realizing that a lot of the stuff that I own at this point is starting to become a little bit loose, which is exciting, but also kind of a bummer because it's like I've invested all of this money into these outfits. But I purchased this most recent outfit more recently, so it still fits and still really snatches me in. That is what I love about this outfit. So the shorts are bike shorts from a brand called Arola. They have a little bit of like a butt scrunch, if you will. I don't think it's super visible, but it helps to kind of separate the cheeks, give you a really nice lift. Then there is the tank. Now the tank is not a traditional seamless material. If you have a pair of seamless leggings from like Gymshark or from some of those like online fitness brands, you kind of know the material I'm talking about. The tank top that I really like to pair with it is this really thick black ribbed material. It doesn't feel the same as like a seamless legging. It is a little bit softer and plushier. I love it. pairing these two together makes your waist look itty bitty. I love the way that these shorts, they don't roll at the thighs, if that's something that you have a problem with. They also don't really roll down either in terms of the waistband. I feel like if anything, they really like suck you in a way that's like really pretty. Least favorite thing is when like a legging like really sucks you in right here, like the waistband is really tight, and then there's no support throughout the rest of the legging, so you get kind of like a pooch that you might not have already had. That's not my favorite. So anyway, these really like just make you look sexy. They make you look good. I feel like everybody would look good in these. I'm honestly kind of desperate for my no buy to be over so I can buy like a couple of more colors in these shorts. I also have the legging version. The leggings are also amazing. A couple of y'all have DM'd me about the leggings whenever I post about them on Instagram or I'm wearing them. Y'all are like, where the fuck are those from? Yeah, they're really good. I'm normally not, again, like a seamless material kind of girl because I feel like it kind of is itchy. If you are familiar with like a Lululemon Align or like a buttery soft legging, these are the opposite of that. They're not that. They're stretchy, but they're not buttery. I don't know. I've always kind of like not been into that material, but lately these Rolla leggings and shorts, I don't know, y'all, they do it for me. So I'll link both the shorts and the leggings, but the shorts have really been what's been rocking for me. And that tank top is also great. I kind of want it in other colors as well. It just hits really nicely above the leggings. I'm not really showing any tummy between the leggings and the tank top, and I have a pretty long torso, so in case you were wondering lengthwise how things are, so had to shout those out because they are bangers. Lastly, in this category, kind of a more lifting specific thing, so if you don't lift, like this isn't probably that relevant to you, but I finally bit the bullet and bought some ankle straps for the cable machine so I could do like cable kickbacks and or standing hip abduction. Oh my god. The ones that I bought I actually really love. They're from a brand called Fit Girl. Honestly, I think you could probably buy from like any brand online, but they weren't super expensive, so I'll link them. I got the green ones. I have a bunch of different colors. My lower body day was Monday and my legs are still screaming. So not only are they cute, affordable, effective, they're too effective almost. Like I'm so sore from using those ankle straps, so highly recommend if you're in the market for some ankle straps or you want to like level up your glute game just a little bit. It's also really great if you don't have a hip adductor machine at your gym. I don't know why you wouldn't. I go to a really fucking small gym and they have one, but some gyms don't, so great option. Next is my one random home thing. Since I want to no buy, I haven't really been like buying exciting things for the home, but I've been using a lot of Tupperware for meal prep, and I have to say the Rubbermaid Brilliance glass line has really just rocked my world. I've had it for a little while. I added in a couple additional pieces that we needed for like the past couple of months, and I'm just addicted. I love how well these dishwasher plastic pieces of the lid never like warp or get weird in the dishwasher. Everything comes out super sparkly and clean. There's not really any weird crevices for like mold to collect either. I love these so much. They're a little pricey, but I think they're worth it, especially if you are in the market to kind of like upgrade from like cheap plastic Tupperware or like takeout containers that we all kind of save. I really like these, and they come in like a bunch of different sizes, so would recommend. Let's talk about food, shall we? I have made some food discoveries over the past couple of months. There's some stuff that I just keep going back to time and again because it just hits. Okay, first up, this is like a more recent discovery. The Built Puff Bars. Everybody talks about these hoes on TikTok, and I did not buy them from TikTok shop. I was not gonna risk it on a like multi-pack, but I bought a couple of different flavors I was interested in at Walmart. That's like the only place I think they sell them in person near me. These things have been such a game changer. I was initially interested because the macros on these are really great. I also really like the Barbell protein bars, but those are like 200 plus calories, and I can't always fit that well into my deficit amongst like the large meals that I have. But the puff bars are between, I want to say like 140 and 170 calories depending on the variety, and they're about 17 grams of protein, so it's like a pretty good protein for calorie bang for your buck. And the texture and the flavor of these are so fun. Kind of are marshmallowy, not in like a jet puff marshmallow sort of way, but more in like a chocolate covered marshmallow way. Or if you had like a peep without the outside of the peep, you know, like the inside of the peep, how spongy that is. That's kind of what these are like on the inside. They're these kind of like spongy marshmallowy bars covered in chocolate, or I don't know. I think some of them might not be covered in actual chocolate, but like the ones that I have are. They're so good. I have had the coconut flavor. I have had the cookie dough, which has like little cookie dough pieces on top, and then also the brownie flavor, and I like all of them. I think they're all so good. I actually kind of wish that I had gotten the multi-pack off of TikTok because there's so many fun flavors to try. I might have to like place an order once it cools down here and get them sent to my house. That's been the problem, and that is like one of the problems of living in Texas, is it gets too goddamn hot here to order anything that isn't climate controlled, and while Barbells do ship climate controlled, Puff Bars do not. So I'm gonna have to wait on that, but I want to try the cookies and cream, the strawberry. There's so many different options. I like these, and also if you're someone who like isn't super into a traditional protein bar texture, I think you might want to give these a try if you like marshmallows. And also if you're someone who, I don't know, for me, sometimes getting through a whole protein bar is kind of like a chore. Even if I enjoy the flavor, it's like, oh, so much chewing. These disappear in a couple seconds, and they keep you full for a decently long amount of time. So stop gushing. I really enjoy these. I'll leave a link to flavors that I enjoy in the description down below. Next is the Quest Bake Shop muffins. Again, processed protein goodness. You know, sometimes you just need some shit in your pantry that's gonna like get you to your protein goal for the day, that's gonna taste good, and it isn't gonna take a long time to prepare. So I love the Quest Bake Shop muffins, the chocolate chip variety in specific. They do have a proteiny taste, but they are less proteiny than, I don't know, brownies that they sell on TikTok. I feel like I'm bringing everything back to TikTok, but like those people be hawking stuff online. I think they're better tasting than the brownies, better tasting than a lot of these like, you know, protein varieties of bakery style things. The macros on these aren't amazing. I think it's like 200 calories for 10 grams of protein, but when you're just craving a chocolate chip muffin or something really bready, I think these kind of hit the spot. I love that there isn't a ton of excess sugar as well, just because, you know, I love a good muffin, but those don't tend to make my blood sugar do very good things. So I really like these. I think they're good. Again, be warned, like they do have more of a protein taste, but I think if you're already in the protein world, I don't think that will bother you. Moving on to my last item. This is not a health food, but it is a good food. It has good macros in my opinion. It's mostly just like having Taco Bell or like Jack in the Box at home, which I love, especially in kind of a calorie deficit journey myself. Crisp Ups tacos from Walmart. These fuck so hard. The first time I had these, I don't want to say I saw God, but they're good. They're really good. And in that kind of like, these should be fast food kind of way, if that makes sense. Okay, so they are like a corn tortilla filled with American cheese and shredded chicken in this kind of like enchilada style sauce. When Hayden had these for the first time, he said they reminded him of Jack in the Box tacos. I've never had a Jack in the Box taco because I don't like ground beef, so I can't really, you know, draw that comparison, but these are just so good. They like feel so greasy in like the best possible way. They feel decadent, but the macros on these are like kind of crazy. I think it's like 260 calories for 2 tacos and like 14 grams of protein. And like, I'm not saying again that that's some sort of like anabolic, like, oh, protein food, but when you are craving Taco Bell or something shitty, you can just pop these in and it's not gonna like ruin your, you know, deficit for the day. I love these things. They're so fucking good. And I always have these on deck. Like we ran out. Hayden insisted that I go to Walmart to get us some more. So that's like how passionately he feels about these. And he never requests me to like repurchase food. I'd say never, but you know what I mean. He loves these and I love them too. And I would recommend them. Know what you're getting going into them. They're not these like fresh, like, oh wow, greasy goodness. And I love them. Let's move on, shall we, to beauty. I feel like I have a decent amount of stuff in the beauty category this month because I feel like I've been shopping my stash and using more of what I have, and I've just been like loving the stuff that I've been pulling from. So first up, this is a newer thing because I ran out of foundation, and so I purchased a new foundation, went out on a limb about a month ago, and I have been addicted to the Revlon Illuminance foundation. I have the palest shade because I am in fact very pale, and it is a great match for me. I feel like the lightest shade in most drugstore foundations tend to be really pink. This is pretty neutral, leaning a little bit on the yellow side, which I love. It is a thick, dewy, delightful foundation. I think if you have dry skin, and most foundations that are marketed at dry skin cling to your dry patches, you're going to be very happy with this one because it does not cling to dry patches. It looks so beautiful. It just really skims over the face. I'm wearing it today. I don't know like how well it's going to pick up on camera, but every time I wear this foundation, I absolutely love it. The only thing I would say that might turn people off from it is that you need to like prep well to use this foundation. I wouldn't use anything super emollient under it because I feel like foundation might just like slide off your face. It is a very like dewy foundation. Honestly, I'm so into this foundation. I'm trying to figure out at this point like what I'm going to bring to Florida with me though, because I don't think this could handle like high humidity situations, but in like a moderately humid situation or a dry climate, oh, this is beautiful. Can't wait to use this in the winter because I know that this is going to hit. Love it, love it, love it. Next, I bought a case for my makeup brushes recently. I had been just like storing them on top of my makeup and my makeup bag. I was realizing it was just making my makeup bag get a little too stuffed and also get like makeup on my makeup, if that makes sense. Like I don't like when a makeup bag is just like dirty on the inside, like covered in product. So I bought a little case from Amazon for my most used brushes, the brushes I use on an everyday basis, and I love it. It is clear on both sides, but it is like framed in black, and I was specifically looking for one that was going to stay very rigid on the sides because a lot of the ones you find online are like really, I don't want to say squishy and collapsible, but like kind of. This one feels very high quality. I'm very pleased with it. I can fit all of my makeup brushes in it. I'd make sure that the dimensions of your makeup brushes will like fit within this container. All of mine do, and also I can fit quite a few brushes. I've got a couple of eye brushes, I have 2 blush brushes, 2 giant like powder brushes in there too, and you know, they all fit. So I'm very pleased with this purchase. And if I remember, it was like pretty affordable. I got this one off of Amazon. Next is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I have been using this every day for the past couple of months. I keep it in my makeup bag pretty much all the time, but I sometimes wear eyeshadow and sometimes I don't. But whenever I do, I reach for this palette because it is so so gorgeous if you have very, very pale skin. I wanted a Natasha Denona palette for the longest time, and so I got the Glam palette and I really liked it, but I was like, I like the cool neutrals, but I really wish I had pinks. So I got a pink palette from Natasha Denona, and those kind of like, you know, served my needs but weren't perfect. And then this palette came out and I was like, oh, okay, so you made this for me. It is a perfect blend of like neutral, cool browns and also a little bit of pinky tones, which is just like my ideal palette. I love pinky colors, especially cool toned pinks, and I really like kind of a neutral, cool toned eyeshadow because if you're pale, pretty much everything turns orange on you. I love it so much. It is splurgy. I kind of wish that this palette had come out years ago so I wouldn't have had to spend money on those other two Natasha Denona palettes, but this one is everything to me. I love her. She's beautiful. She's stunning. And I think there's also like a little mini palette version of this that also looks really gorgeous. So if you don't want to like splash out on the big one, I would just recommend, especially again, if you have like pale skin like I do. A fucking nightmare trying to find makeup sometimes, which leads me to my lip combo for today. I've been wearing this lip combo, I would say in most videos if you see lipstick on me. It is the Sephora brand lip liner. I think it's called like a gel liner in Sinker Suede. This got really big on TikTok a while ago for being a perfect nude for pale people. And I have to agree, I think it's a really good nude liner. It does lean on the pinky side, but I think that is the beauty of it. It leans pinky and not peachy, which most things do on us. And then the e.l.f. Clout Pout lip pen in the shade Pinky Out, which is kind of this like nudie pink color. And I think the combination is really pretty. I don't think it leans too orangey, but it's also not like a really, really cool toned pink either. I just think it's like a really flattering like in between shade. I think it's nice. And not me forgetting to talk about my most asked about item, my planner for this year. So many of y'all have asked about this. I posted about it on Instagram on my stories, but I guess some of y'all saw that, didn't document it. I've been getting a lot of DMs. So this year I bought a A5 vertical common planner in the compact layout. So I'll kind of show you briefly like what that is. This is my current year's common planner. It's like this baby pink color. I love this thing. It reminds me a lot of a Hobonichi cousin. It's got monthly layouts in the front. I put the stickers in here, obviously. It's got weekly layouts for every week in a vertical fashion. They also have horizontal options, but like this is the vertical. That's how I visualize my week. I really like it. And then it also has 369 maybe pages, 365 pages of blank grid paper in the back. So you can like journal, you can do like so many different things, right? In this book. It's pretty thick and juicy, but it's got really thin, crinkly Tome river paper. If you're not familiar with it, it kind of feels like Bible paper, but like in a nice way. I like it. I think it's crinkly and delicious. I have been using a planner like this since I think like 2019. I love these kinds of planners. I've used Hobonichi Cousin in the past, Common Planner last year, and I bought a new Common Planner for this year, but I decided to go with the compact version. So it has everything that this planner has, but just less daily pages at the back. I always get a planner that has like 365 pages at the back so I can journal, do notes, that kind of thing. And I never use up all the pages. Like I want to be a journaler. I'm just not great at it. So I decided to be honest with myself this year and get the one that only has, I want to say like 120-ish pages of blank grid paper at the back. And if for some reason I decide I want to take up journaling in the next year, I can just get like an additional book to like strap to this one. But I like how compact and like just sleek it is in comparison. Granted, this one is like filled up and chunked up, which I actually kind of enjoy. But that's like what they look like by comparison. If you want one with a bunch of different pages, they also have this. They have so many different layouts and sizes and options with the Common Planner, but again, Sterling ink planner. I'll leave a link in the description to the exact one that I have, but so many different options and colorways. This is the linen color. I feel like it's looking a little bit more green on camera, but it's a PU leather type material, but it just looks like linen. Yeah, there's so many different colors, so many different options. I love supporting a small business, and I just love how neutral this planner is compared to something like a Hobonichi Cousin. I also get the one with like gold sprayed edges. It just feels very glamorous and lovely. And I keep my planners in this Louis Vuitton desk agenda, kind of splayed out on my desk like this. And yeah, that's my go-to planning method. And I wanted to mention this again because I know so many of y'all have asked about it and I don't want y'all to miss out. I don't know if they're going to sell out or like what the situation is there, but I thought I'd mention it. And then lastly, let's move into the books and movies category, shall we? I had 3 books that I really enjoyed this month. I was kind of surprised by actually the ones I enjoyed. So first up, we have a historical romance pick, Isabel and the Rogue. This book was so fun. You've got a heroine who is from Mexico and she's living in in England, and she is trying to collect information, kind of do some spying, to send back to Mexico, like send back the information to Mexico. And while she does this, while she's kind of skulking around ballrooms and getting information, she ends up meeting a guy who is also a bit of a spy, and so they kind of like get in leagues with each other. They kind of do this like song and dance, trying to pretend they don't like each other. It's just a really deeply romantic, fun book that is also so sexy. And if you are looking for a historical romance that isn't just about the same old white English people, here you go. Spice it up a little bit, have some fun. Next up is At First Spite by Olivia Dade. This book I really loved for a bunch of different reasons. First up, we have older hero and heroine. She is in her mid to late 30s and he is almost 40, I believe. And our heroine is going through kind of a hard time. She was engaged to this guy's brother, but the guy, her love interest, basically tells the guy not to marry her because he does not think they're a good match. He basically tells his brother, like, I don't think she's serious enough for you, that sort of thing. He has to kind of like eat his words when she ends up moving in next door after the engagement is broken and they start becoming friends. Like, she starts becoming friends with the guy, not that she was engaged to, but that was like, don't date my brother or don't marry my brother. Really juicy, really fun. There's some really frank conversations about mental health. Our heroine does go through sort of like a major depressive episode in the book, but I enjoyed this book. I feel like it was very multidimensional. I loved the hero and the heroine. I really feel like the hero is like new book boyfriend material for me, and how romantic he was in the amount of groveling he does at the end of the book. Like, I just want to eat up, and I feel like you should check it out. And then lastly, Pirate Girls by Penelope Douglas. This book, I don't think it's going to be for everyone, but I think if you are someone who, again, really eats up the dating my boyfriend's brother trope, which is kind of what At First Bite was too, I think you'll like this one. Our heroine in this book gets exchanged to a rival high school during homecoming week, and she has to reconnect with old flame, kind of, a guy that she's had a crush on and who has a crush on her. And not doing this book justice in describing it, but I did vlog it over on Patreon if you want to check that vlog out. I loved this book. I thought it was fun. And I kind of feel like you need to read the first book in the series before reading this one, even though they're technically standalones, just so you like get more context for the world. But I liked it a lot. It brought me back to like gritty, small town, like 2010s vibes, and I really, really enjoyed it. Other things that I have been enjoying, let's talk about 2 TV shows briefly. I have really been enjoying English Teacher. This is a TV show by Brian Jordan Alvarez, who I absolutely adore. I've known him, or I've known about him since he was on YouTube making YouTube videos as, is it Caleb Gallo? I love that YouTube video series. So quotable, so fun. English Teacher on FX/Hulu is so entertaining. It's set in Austin, which I think is especially fun, but I think it really does do a good job at documenting like what it would be like to be a teacher during these trying times that we're in such a different way, I think, than something like an Abbott Elementary. So I really enjoy it. He's a high school English teacher, if I didn't already make that clear. And then I've also been really enjoying Nobody Wants This with Adam Brody and Kristen Bell. I can never remember her last name. I have been eating this shit up. I'm not completely done with the show, but I am so impressed with Netflix for picking up a television program that has like a romance at its center. Adam Brody's character is a rabbi, and our heroine runs like a sex podcast essentially. And they're both kind of in their late 30s and are in weird kind of dating space, but they both are just like instantly attracted to each other, and it's so good. It's like just such good chemistry between the two of them, and I have enjoyed the writing. And I feel like you've seen a lot of people talk about this, but if you've been on the fence about giving it a go, I would recommend it. At least the first couple of episodes, just like give it a shot. And I'm very excited to finish that one off. So yeah, that's it for me. Those are like my favorites of the month. Again, this video is not super long, but I just wanted to pop it in here. I'll leave links to everything in the description down below. I'll also leave a link to this sweatshirt in the description down below. I'm so excited. I like forgot that I had this almost. Like, it was not hung with the rest of my sweatshirts, and I have missed her. This is some of my merch, so I'll link that in the description down below as well. But thanks for watching this. Let me know in the comments down below if you had any like standout favorites for the month, and maybe I'll check them out. But I'll see you in the next one.